Hello soulmates, I am Miriam Folashade. Welcome to pattern drafting class. Before we dive into the step-by-step instruction for creating half-length basic block, let's establish some essential rules. Our body is divided into 4 parts. The front will be divided into 2, while the back will be divided into 2. That is 4 parts. I hope you understand that. The front pattern will be cut on fold, as well as the back pattern. This results in 4 separate pieces. These basic half bodice blocks serve as the foundation for various garment styles. By mastering this block, you will gain the flexibility to create different designs. Pay close attention to each step. The accuracy matters. It is important. Let's discuss some essential calculated measurements. The shoulder and the circumference. The shoulder measurement is divided into 2. And all circumference, the bust, waist, and the hip are divided into 4. The vertical measurement remains the same, and the sleeve measurements are divided into 4. The sleeve measurement, I mean the circumference of the sleeve, not the length. There is a formula to derive accurate armhole so that our armhole will not be tight. You'll be able to raise your hands anytime and your clothes will be comfortable. So the armhole formula is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 plus 0.5. The 0.5 is the seam allowance. So it will be bust divided by 6 plus 2. I hope you understand that. And any answer you get, you round it up to the nearest whole number. There is cap height for our sleeve too. So the formula for the cap height is bust divided by 12 plus 0.5. Now let's continue with the pattern drafting process. Lay your pattern on a smooth surface and draw a straight green line as your starting point. Measure half length plus 1 inch for the vertical measurement. As you can see here, it is 18. And for the horizontal measurement, use the fuller part of your body, which is your bust. So bust divided by 2 plus 4 inches, that's 21 in total. The reason why we're using our bust is that we are drafting half bodies, and normally your bust will be the fuller part of your body. So bust divided by 2 plus 4 inches. The 4 inches is the seam allowance. After you mark 21, mark half of 21. That is 10.5. Connect that with a straight ruler. So what you just measure at the lower part, take it to the upper part too. So measure 21 and mark the middle of 21, which is 10.5. Connect with a ruler. Next thing is the vertical measurement you did on this part. Measure it on the other part where the 21 ends. Take it to the place and connect with a ruler. Now we have a box. So in the middle of the box, measure 21 and divide it into 2. Connect with a ruler also. Remember, we have been dividing 21 into 2, so that will make it easy to connect into 2. Don't assume your eyes or your hands are straight. Always cross-check. Now we have successfully divided our box into 2 equal parts. So to measure your neck width, your bust divided by 10. Mine is 34, so bust divided by 10 is 3.4. The neck depth starts with 3 inches, but you can adjust if you want. You can go as low as 6 inches if you want. 6 inches, your cleavage won't show. Connect as a box and use your curve rule to create a neck curve. Place your curve rule very well to create a perfect curve. From the beginning of the green line, measure 8 inch for the shoulder and come down by 1.5 inch. That's the shoulder slope. Oh, sorry, I just realized that my gadget stopped recording. So let me quickly take you through this process again. You measure a green line, which is your half length, and you measure your fuller part of the body, which is your bust, divided by 2 plus 4. Then you take the same thing, you take it up. What you measured there, you take it to the upper part. The next thing is the same vertical measurement you took there, you connect it to that place and to form a box. So next thing is to measure zipper allowance. From that place, you measure 1 inch. 1 inch up, 1 inch down, and 1 inch in the middle. Connect it to form your zipper allowance. So the next thing is to measure your neck width, 3.4, and your neck depth, which is 3 inches. Connect a box and use your curve ruler to make a curve. And that is your front neck. So you come to the back and you measure your neck width, 3.4, same thing as measuring the front, and your back is 1.5. Your back depth is 1.5, and you connect with your curve ruler. The next thing is to measure your back measurement. Mind you, you will not start from the zipper allowance. You will start before the zipper allowance. And from there you come down by 1 inch. Now form your back shoulder slope, and from there you connect with your straight shoulder. The reason why we are coming down like this is that our shoulder is not straight, our shoulder is slanted, so you have to come down to form a human body structure. For the front, you measure 8 and you come down by 1.5 inch and you connect with your straight shoulder. So you come to your back pattern and you measure 8 inches for the armhole. You must note that you are doing this on the back pattern first, not the front. Back pattern first. So place your tape on the grain line and measure across it. It should be 9 inches. 9 inches here and measure 9 inches in the middle of the paper. So measure 9 inches in the center front as well and connect everything with a straight shoulder. For the front armhole, measure the 8 inches of the shoulder and bring it down to the chest line and connect it to the slanted shoulder. The next thing is to work on the armhole. So on the back pattern, measure the center of the armhole. That is 8 divided by 2, which is 4 inches. Measure same on the middle grain line and connect it to the front pattern. So to get a perfect armhole, in the middle of the back pattern, go in by 0.5. And in the middle of the front pattern, go in by 0.75. So use your curve rule to connect it by connecting the middle to the shoulder slope first. In case you don't know how to use your curve ruler, to get a perfect armhole curve, you will come up diagonally by 0.75. To serve as a guide for your curve ruler, watch how I do this. You do the same for your front pattern as well, and you have a perfect armhole. So the next thing is to take our vertical measurement. Measure your bust point, which is 11, and connect it. Remember, all vertical measurements will be taken from the neck width or the upper grain line. On the bust point line, measure the bust span, which is 8 divided by 2, that's 4 inches. The next thing is to measure the half length, which is 17 inches, and take the bust span measurement on it. After taking the bust span, you have to take a dart leg. You measure 0.5 to the right and 0.5 to the left of the bust span. Just watch as I do it. So from your bust point, come down by 1 inch and connect the dart to the 1 inch. So the next thing is to measure the back length, which is 15 inches. And remember, always cross-check. Don't assume your answer straight. On the chest line, come down by 1 inch and mark the bust span on the back length. Don't forget your dart leg as you have done in the front and connect it back to the 1 inch you came down with on the chest line. The next thing is to calculate the circumference of the body. The bust measurement will be inserted on the chest line, not on the bust point line. So 34 divided by 4 plus 2 is 10.5 inches. And the measurement here is exactly 10.5. Measure the back circumference as well. So to the waist, 29 divided by 4 plus 2 is 9.2 inches. I would advise if you can add back your dart allowance, because as for me, I don't want to add it back because I've added 2 inches excess allowance and I don't like too much allowance in my clothes. So for you, please add the dart allowance. The dart allowance is 1 inch and connect it together with the bust. So the next thing is to answer that curiosity in your mind, how to match the side seam. So come to the bust point and measure 1 inch to the side. Next thing is to come to the bust point line and come down by 2 inches. Locate the middle of the 2 inches, which is 1 inch, and connect with a straight ruler to the 1 inch. And again, instead of 1 inch, you can make it 0.5 inch. It's up to you. 0.5 inch dart will make it more relaxed. So I changed mine to 0.5. Pay attention to this part. To give room to be able to close the dart, we have to measure 0.5 inch outside the dart to extend the dart outside. So you measure 0.5 there and you connect it with your ruler, just as shown. So the next step is to add seam allowance to the down part. Remember, our length is 17 and we use 17. If you want to sew it, there won't be seam allowance for the length. After adding the seam allowance, we'll extend the leg of the dart to the seam allowance And the one in the middle will extend it with extra 0.5 inch. We'll extend it down. That will be 1 inch. 0.5 for the seam allowance. And you connect it as shown. You do the same for the back. Add seam allowance and extend the dart out. I use red pen for you to indicate the seam allowance. And let's add seam allowance to the shoulder and to the neck. So it is time to cut. Cut along the line and be precise. Cut on the line itself. Learn to label your pattern. It is very important. You might not know, you might not even recognize what it is anymore. So if you label it, this will help you to remember which part is this, which part is this. So it is necessary for you to label them. So the next thing is back tightening. So on the half length of the back, you will eliminate 0.5 inch at the zip area. So after removing that, you connect it to the upper part. It doesn't have to be anywhere, even you can connect it to the neck. Just make sure you connect it to the upper part. As you can see, the side seam has not matched yet. So we'll have to close the side dart to match it up. So to close the side dart, we'll have to open the waist dart. To close a dart, you have to open a dart. That's the rule. So you have to open the waist dart to the bust point. So close the side dart as shown. This line will meet the bust point line. Then use tape to secure it. After taping, use a ruler to straighten up and cut the excess. So let me show you the reason why we had to extend the dart the other time. Let's open this dart and see the excess I'm talking about. You see that this place, it is perfect now. Let's open it and see it. Can you see the excess? So this is an indication that there's a dart here. So close it back and that is it. You have your basic half bodice block. Remember to pay attention to details and accuracy throughout the process. If you have any question, feel free to ask. In our next class, we'll be delving into creating the full basic block. Until then, happy drafting.